Welcome to the Yellow Brick Code. I am stoked to have you here, and I'm looking forward to this journey with you as you scale yourself, your relationships, and your business in the most rapid, most consistent, and sustainable way. Now, before we dive into the core of the course, I want to cover a few things here with you. I want to ensure that we start this off on the right foot so you get the best results. But first, the story. There was a Japanese Zen master named Nanin, who was alive during the Meiji area, which is around the 1800s, early 1900s. Now, during his days as a teacher, he was visited by a university professor who was absolutely enthralled with Zen. Being the tradition in those days, Nanin made his guest a cup of tea. While making the tea, the professor began to explain to Nanin everything that he knew and understood about Zen, going on and on and on. He went on at great length of all the koans that he had read, of all the people that he had spoken to, and even as the Zen master began to take the tea and pour it into the professor's cup, still he continued speaking. As he continued speaking, the Zen master continued pouring the tea, to the point where the tea now started overflowing from the cup all over the table. Yet Nanin kept pouring. As the professor watched the cup overflow, he could no longer contain himself and quickly interjected, it's overfull, it's overfull. No more's going to go in, stop. Nanin, in turn, said to the professor, like the cup, you too are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup? First thing I want you to take away from this is to stay open. I'm not suggesting the things you learn nor the things that you'll hear are perfect in every way. They are battle tested, they are effective, and you will need to test them for yourself. Everything I teach needs to be tested for yourself. That being said, you are here for a reason. If you knew everything that I know to the extent that I know these things, you wouldn't be here. So my request is that you give yourself permission to be open and to learn from someone that might not have more advanced knowledge in every aspect of your life and business, though there will definitely be a few that I do. And they'll most likely be in this specific program in the realms I'm going to cover. The second thing that I really want you to consider, this course you're about to embark on is the 80-20 version of the 80-20 version. It's the fourth version that I've built, and it's by far the best and the most impactful. To explain something, I want to ensure that you appreciate what is going to happen for you as you progress rapidly through this program. Old man Jenkins had finally retired, but not long after, the pivotal mega machine, the boiler in this company, actually just fell apart, okay? The supervisor was distressed and tried every troubleshooting trick in the book, but nothing worked. In desperation, the company called Old Man Jenkins for his expert consultation to come and fix this machine so they could get the cash back up and running. Jenkins, with years of wisdom etched into every wrinkle, meandered into the factory, and with a keen gaze, he went over the machine and he went through his detailed work and delivered a very precise strike. Bang! The machine clicked on instantly. Jenkins was done. Business resumed as normal. Prosperity flowed. They started making cash. The subsequent day, the supervisor choked on his coffee, seeing Jenkins' invoice of $10,000. Fuming, he refused to process it, demanding an itemized breakdown of the list. Jenkins, unbothered, unperturbed, said no problem. The revised invoice detailed everything. Labor, $37. Knowing the exact spot to strike, $9,963. In the clarity of this itemization, years of his experience resonated. Every trial, each error, each discovery, and innovation that he'd encountered were distilled into that singular, tactical, invaluable strike. Now, you've probably heard this story or another version of this story before. My point is simple. I am teaching you how to compress time. how to fast track yourself. And putting that into 300 hours or 80 hours or 40 hours worth of training is nothing short of ironic. What you have here is no more than 10 hours of training to go through in 7 weeks. Everything has been distilled down to the principles, the core elements and actions that will move the needle for you in the biggest way possible, with the least friction, least interruptions, least complexity, and the least unwanted stimulation. Each lesson is structured in the same format, the same delivery. Explanation, then action. The training has been designed to be congruent with principles that I live by, so that you can see a demonstration of it through the training and through how we progress by going and doing the work and through the calls and everything that moves forward. So the first principle is show, don't tell. The training is designed to be distilled and digestible so that you can take it and implement it immediately. Notice changes extremely fast, which then teaches you how to optimize and scale when the course is optimizing and scaling. If I was doing that and the course is not optimized and scaled, it's incongruent. So I compressed it and I compressed it again. I realized I could do a better job, so I did. That's what you're looking at. The second principle is the one-touch rule. Ideally, you want to do things once and once only, meaning tasks at work, meaning things that occupy time. Having to repeat yourself is inefficient and ineffective. That's the way this training is laid out. Everything builds off everything else before it and connects in and grows with it. It reinforces as it moves forward. Now, the third I've already covered slightly. This is the 80-20. This training does not contain a massive breadth of information that the other trainings did. What it does is it goes deeper into the elements that move the needle, the things that act as the biggest levers for you to scale at will and do it in a sustainable way and a rapid way without falling apart in the process, which is a huge element of this training. And the next is that conditioning is key. It's all about changing your baseline conditioning. You will fall to the level of your conditioning in most cases. That's why the military and first responders like police and ambulance drivers, firefighters, practice, drill, so that things become second nature, become automatic. And I want the same for you. Get the reps in, you yield the result. And we're going to get a lot of mental reps in with the program that we're doing. And one of the other ones is future favors. And it's hard to demonstrate this in the program, so I'm going to explain it with another story. And this principle comes from a Navy galley. A cook, a chef, is in the galley at sea. The kitchen is another word, making a feast for the crew. He cooks the best food, so everyone is excited, waiting to dive in. They're frothing for it. While cooking, he usually makes a mess of things and cleans up after himself once he is done in the kitchen. So while he's cooking, there's stuff everywhere. On this one particular evening, the ship is in quiet waters, and out of nowhere, a rogue wave strikes the side of the ship. And the ship starts to go over on tilt. Anything not secured down goes tumbling or flying or both. Fortunately for the cook, he manages to stop the pots of soup and vegetables from flying across the floor and across the room. He saved the food. Unfortunately for this particular cook, the knife that was on the counter is now embedded through the top of his boot firmly into his foot. Future favors is a process that doesn't apply only to the galley, it applies universally to life. Had he put the knives away once he was finished cutting them, the knife would not have been where it was to go through his foot. The vegetables would not have gone out. He would have been able to focus on what was important. Let's say you come home from the beach. You're tired. You don't feel like emptying the car. So you just leave the stuff inside the car and a bag leaks. And there was milk in that because you took milk for your kids or for yourself, whatever. The next day you go out for the day, the car is parked in the sun, and the milk starts to fester. You come to the car to put groceries or something in the back where you left the milk, and you're hit by this revolting odor. An extra 5 minutes to clear things out has just cost you an extra few hours possibly. Either without a car while someone else cleans it, or the extra few hours while you clean it, get rid of the smell and make everything back to normal. With these 5 frameworks guiding you through this program, you will get amazing results. In the cohort program, we have a 97% completion rate and a 100% satisfaction rate. I am aiming to maintain and improve upon both of these. This is an action-oriented program. If you take zero action, you'll get minimal results. You'll still get some results just from listening to the nap sessions and the way they're constructed. You will start to get change. However, you're not here for some results. You're here for a reason. So let's ditch the dream and turn the dream into a reality. Now, finally, a simple request. I ask that you keep the information contained in the calls, in the training, in the videos, the MP3s, and the workbooks, and anything that's discussed in the group for your eyes and ears only. This is my business. This is my life, my passion, my work. I've spent thousands of hours building this and putting it together, considering this is version 4. This is how I support my family and their future. I'll know you'll respect that, because in the reverse situation, I would do the same for you and you would want me to do the same for you. I'll see you in the first module. I'm looking forward to smashing this out of the park with you so you can scale beyond your wildest dreams.